Hi, my name is Robin. Some of you know me as Raven or Dame Crow. I usually run Sanguine Threads at conventions. I've been asked to do some instructional videos for everybody so that I can kind of get you introduced into the world of sewing, fashion, and especially into conventions and cosplay. The first thing I'm actually going to do is tell you what to have for your convention emergency kit. So you will need a nice, large, strong magnet, a large safety pin. A thimble is always good, either plastic or metal is fine. A headed pin is okay, but I prefer the very slender 22 gauge silk pin. Not a satin pin, a silk pin. If it's got a larger head, it's a satin pin. It's usually not as good as you would think it is. A bobbin with whatever color of thread you need. A small brush. This one's actually a convertible ripper, seam ripper, which is great because you're going to need that at some point. Pair of tweezers, embroidery scissors. Do not use those little scissors that you get in those tiny kits that they give you at the hotel or that you can get in the shopping centers. They're awful. They're absolutely awful. Good, strong pair of scissors. Stitch witchery will become your friend for instant seams. If you need it, needle threaders, and always have a couple of good large-eyed needles, because for the most part you're going to want to be able to do stuff quickly, and the small ones can be hard to thread. The reason I have this here is actually it's a piece of cotton, because when you're working with polyesters, silks, satins, different types of slippery materials, or even wool, you want to be able to press stuff with an iron, and you need cotton to actually overlay that so that you don't burn the material. Also, sometimes you want to have a backup spool, and here's the odd part, you actually want to bring a chopstick with you. So let's run through how to do this real quick. Stitch witchery is your friend because what it does is it creates a fused bond between two pieces of material, which can create an instant hemline. Basically, you'll take material, you'll put down your stitch witchery, you'll put another piece of material, or just fold it over, onto this, and then you slowly iron with a steam setting along it. What that'll do is it'll instantly fuse it. So if your hemline comes loose, or you need to create a hemline type piece that's not going to have to hold much weight, that's the stuff that you're going to want for that. For your needles, nice large eye, I went ahead and cut a piece of thread. Here's your needle. The quickest way to thread a needle, probably one of the easiest ways to thread it as well, is, I'll get into frame. Take it, put it between your fingers, place the eye over where the thread should come out, and basically you just roll your fingers apart. It threads it for you. Then you can pull it through, and you're ready to go. Thank you, Sophie Kaufmanian. She is the woman who taught me how to do that, and an amazing teacher. You want to have a nice strong pair of embroidery scissors or clips in order to trim any excess threads. When you're done, it makes it so much easier to do. Your tweezers are actually used for just about anything. They can pick out corners when you have to turn something. They're also really good at being able to remove small bits of thread or silk pins from whatever you've been working on. Your seam rippers you will always need. Make sure that you have a nice, sharp seam ripper. The ones that come in those little packages are often very dull, and you will actually end up doing more damage to your cosplay and to yourself. Like I said, the threader works much the same way as what I just did. All it is you simply insert it through the eye, put your thread through, and then pull back, and it pulls it through for you. Chopstick. Nobody seems to understand how useful this thing is. You can actually tie thread or ribbon or elastic to this and use it as a threading tool to go through waistbands and through larger eyelet laces in order to get stuff pulled through. Makes for a great quick fix. Silk pins, I always say use silk pins because they are thinner. They don't cause your fabric to bunch as much. They don't cause holes nearly as often. And if and when you drop these things, they hurt a lot less if you happen to accidentally step on them, which if you've ever been a seamstress, or, well, any one of us, you probably have done that. As far as work surfaces go, you probably actually want to do most of your repairs in the bathroom. The reason you want to do it in the bathroom is because it's flat surface and it's hard surface. You're not as likely, if you drop a pin, to step on it and injure yourself. If you drop a pin on carpet, they do have a tendency to stick up, which causes a much worse injury, and they're also a lot harder to see when they're on carpet versus on, you know, flat tile. Your thimble is great because it can fit any one of your digits, and it actually saves you from getting I'm sorry, I have nails. It saves you from getting pierced or poked, usually by your own needle, but if you're an experienced seamstress, you tend not to need them quite as often unless you're working with heavy materials. Large safety pin is great for holding things in place, but it's also good for, if you want to put elastic or ribbon, or need to thread something through a small opening. This is great because you basically open it, secure the elastic or ribbon on there, close it, and then feed it into the opening and all the way through. It can fit into actually some really small spaces. The reason you need a heavy grade magnet is so that you can actually pick up small items that you may have dropped. As you see, those collect right to it. Usually you just wave this over whatever area you've been working around. It'll pick up anything you might have dropped, and it'll save you a lot of time, trouble, and effort. If there's anything you can think of, anything you want to know, I plan on doing more of these. On Tumblr, I'm Sanguine Threads. On Twitter, I'm Sanguine Threads. On Facebook, I'm Sanguine Threads. And on GoFundMe, you can even find me under Sanguine Threads. Next week, I hope to have my sewing machine back from the shop. It finally died on me, so I had to have it repaired. If you'd like to go to GoFundMe, donate a couple bucks just so I can get it out of hock, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'll be back next week, and I will do more teaching lessons. So let me know what you would like to see so that you can have a good time cosplaying, making your own stuff, and, you know, in general, just enjoying the world of cosplay, costume, and clothing. Thanks. Bye.